Hi Capricorn, this is your 2022 reading. I'm going to put down 12 cards, a card for each month, and there will be no reversals. Okay, so let's get started. Here's January. You have the Fool, Independence, following your bliss. For February, you have the Queen of Swords. This is about wisdom. Sometimes it's a somber card, learning hard lessons, grief. The Queen of Swords is usually associated with grieving. She's considered the widow of the tarot. For March, you have an Eight of Wands, things happening quickly. It can also mean falling in love, long distance relationship. April, you have a King of Swords. This is interesting because there could be a number of things going on when you have the Queen who's passive and the King who's active. For May, you have Three of Swords. So swords are figuring pretty prominently here. But wands are here too, which is about desire, joy, your will. We have a Queen of Cups, which is about self-esteem. It's a passive energy, but queens, again, they're more about friendship and personal issues and support. Kings are about action and decisions. You have a King of Pentacles in July, so all of these kings and queens are showing up. What does that mean? And then in August, you have an Emperor. So Capricorn, you're an earth sign, so you've definitely got representation here with that King of Pentacles. That's your significator. But I'm also seeing a lot of masculine energy here, especially when you look at all of these kings and the Emperor who's in charge of all the kings. And then the Fool, and this is like your first 8 cards. So it's very interesting how this is turning out for you, Capricorn. This is September. You have an 8 of Pentacles. You have a 7 of Swords. This is the Hierophant, the Pope. That's November. This is October. In December, you end with a Knight for a change. The Knight of Wands. So when you look at where you start and where you end up, I think it's pretty interesting. You start with wands. The Fool has a wand in his hand and a Knight has a wand in his hand. What does that mean? Well, that singular wand, like the Ace of Wands, it means new beginnings, a joy of life, being inspired. So this could be about inspiration for you. Also, when we look at your major arcana, you do have the Fool here, which is about following your bliss and taking risks, not limiting your life in any way, just getting past the boundaries. So this is a good energy to start with, and maybe a lot of you are starting over. We come here to this Emperor, and the Emperor is a very strong card. As I said, he rules over all the kings. And you need to, when you see the Emperor, it's time to be a boss. Not just a literal boss, but someone calling the shots who has authority that you probably don't, someone who calls the shots who has authority, and you have to work with that person whether you want to or not. That's one example of the Emperor. Another example of the Emperor is leadership roles. when you see this, it means that you need to take a leadership role, or you're going to take a leadership role, and things are going to have to be disciplined. Things are going to have to be rigid, but for the right reasons. So, yes, when the Emperor shows up, authority, following the rules, and discipline are going to be huge. And I think it's interesting he follows this King of Pentacles, because this is a major arcana. This is minor. The King of Pentacles is a minor echo of the Emperor, because the Emperor is in charge of the entire material world. So the King of Pentacles, pentacles are about the material world, coins, earth, all of that. So I see, for some of you Capricorns, especially seeing that this is your significator, I definitely see the possibility of some of you starting a business or getting into something where you make money. And look, the Eight of Pentacles follows that. That's the card of work. So the Fool, and then you have the Emperor, and then in November you have the High Priest, or the Hierophant. And again, this is a mediator. The priest, the High Priest, is about tradition. It's also possible there are legal matters, and that's, when you look at this King of Pentacles and Emperor, that's perfectly understandable. Okay, it's about getting advice from someone you trust. Okay, so this is important, and it can also mean a marriage contract. But I feel like in your case, Capricorn, this is about you starting a new venture, or even a new relationship, a new home, a new job. And whatever this new venture or opportunity that you have, you might need to have some legal consultation or advice. I feel like this is about someone having to mediate, or you seeking advice about a particular issue. And maybe it's the Seven of Swords, which can indicate trust issues, but also can be about strategy, secrets, things like that. So yeah, I am picking up a definite vibe throughout of you in your element, starting this new business or starting a new venture, and you're just trying to get rid of everyone who is not working with you. So going back to the beginning, we have the Fool, and so we have this Queen of Swords, which is about wisdom and discipline as well. The King of Swords, which is about wise decision making, and they both bookend this Eight of Wands, which is about travel, new opportunities, surprises happening. So this seems to be flowing all together as a story that this month you might want to strike out and do your own thing, right? And maybe this wand, following, with the Eight of Wands, it feels like you are ready to travel, meet people with this new venture. So the Queen and the King, I think they're showing up to give you counsel. The Queen is showing up, she's passive energy. That means you look inward to decide if this is what you really want. And then the King of Swords, he takes action, he's decisive, and he kind of tells everybody, okay, everybody get to work, get started. Okay? When we come here to May, we have a Three of Swords, which means disappointment. And again, following these other swords, I feel like there's someone who's been ambiguous, kind of flaky in your life that you want to work with, or someone that you want to have at your side, but yet there's a disappointment here. And it's also about healing. You don't get these cards like Death or Three of Swords and, you know, those depressing cards. They bring something good with them, meaning that you are getting past a betrayal. It could also be a delay. It looks like you really want to get started on something, whether it's a relationship, a job, or a business. But then there's a delay here in May that kind of slows things down. We have another queen here, a Queen of Cups, who brings security, emotional security, reassurance. Okay, and I'm reading in the context of the other cards that you're making a lot of big decisions. You're using your head, but it's also important that you use your heart as well. So yeah, we do have this Queen of Cups here to sort of ground you emotionally. And again, this is about, I feel like it's more about establishing trust. I feel like it's about you taking time out to do a personal reflection about this. Because note, the Queen is facing this Three of Swords. She's facing this disappointment. So I kind of feel like this is about people disappointing you or something not working out, but it's like a blip on the screen. And so you sort of shut down. I feel like you leave your emotions behind here and get back to being a boss with that King of Pentacles and the Emperor. So when we head out the year, September, October, November, December, you're up and running, you know. So whatever goals or agendas you had here in the beginning of the year, you had a problematic summer, but September you're raring to go for some reason. And again, some of you could be starting a new job. This is the job of work and discipline. And discipline seems to be a common theme with these kings and this Emperor. And the wisdom of the swords coming to help you out. It feels like this is about going for what you want. Remember, the Fool started your year off in January. So, we get to work, we're following our dreams, and then there is some issue of trust. This is the Seven of Swords is an interesting card because it can mean secrets, but it can also mean coming up with a new strategy. It can definitely be about scheming. But it's also about thinking outside the box and just solving problems, using your street smarts. So, yeah, that's when you decide that you want to get some advice on your strategy. And after you get your advice, Knight of Wands, Knights are ready to go. They've gotten their orders from the King and the Emperor. Now it's time to take action. Now it's time to move forward. So your story for 2022 is that people keep getting in your way, slowing you down. And you're all about just getting it done. Capricorns are like that more than any other earth sign or any other sign, actually. But you'll be fine. You will get there. You will get to the starting line. It's just going to be very frustrating in the middle of the year. That was your reading for 2022. I hope you're safe, happy, and healthy. And I wish you love and light. And you'll see me again soon. Take care.